Everywhere and at all times, it is in your power to accept your present circumstances, be kind to those around you, and cultivate true and useful thoughts. Stick to these ruling principles. Don't look at how others behave and try to imitate them. Look straight to where nature and reason lead you. Don't be pulled off course by the desires of your body either. Reason was made to rule over the body, not the other way around. Marcus Aurelius, from his book, The Meditations. Without reason, man is not different from the animal. The average person feels adrift in their life. They recognize that as a problem, but they're lost in how to go about fixing it. Modern man lacks principles to live by. Modern man is easily swayed by distraction and escapism. Man was made for so much more than what modern life pushes on you. It is for these very reasons that you must live an intentional life. Now, how does one live an intentional life? Number 1, wake up with a zest for life and avoid the snooze button. Do you arise in the morning with a sense of purpose and excitement? If not, considering planning your day the night before. Start your day doing something you enjoy. This may be reading 10 pages of a book you enjoy or exercising first thing in the morning. By waking up a few minutes earlier than necessary, you can start your day on a positive note rather than rushing out the door in a panic before the day has even begun. This simple little change will help motivate you to get out of bed when you wake rather than playing with your phone and wasting precious time and energy. Personally, for me, first thing I do every morning is some kind of exercise. You should do some push-ups, and then I hop on either an exercise bike or I start my workout routine, lifting weights, even running in the morning on occasion. And trust me, getting the blood flowing through exercise will wake you up way better than any cup of coffee or energy drink. Number 2, stay in the moment and appreciate even the mundane. If you find yourself obsessing over events of the past, you need to learn to forgive yourself and others. Move on so that you can appreciate the present moment. This may mean you will need to confront your own thoughts and emotions rather than seeking escapism, trying to forget them. Journaling can aid you with this. Simply writing down your thoughts and emotions is often enough to get them off your mind. This is something I started a few years ago, and I get a lot of questions asking me, how do you start writing? How do you start journaling? I think a lot of guys are thinking a little too hard into this. Really, simply write down whatever is on your mind. Write down some thoughts. Don't try to make it perfect. Just start writing, and you'll find that getting these angers, these frustrations out of your head and onto paper, you'll feel better after you get it over with. And if that doesn't help you out, if you don't have anything to say, the other thing I do is I'll write down 3 things that I did today. I went to the gym. I went for a run. I saw a friend and had coffee with them, whatever. And even if you just do that, just write those 3 things down, it kind of works like a muscle, where the more you do it, the more it'll help you develop the muscle of writing. Number 3, give your full interest to anyone and everyone you talk to. Think about someone who you consider to be charming and likable, like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. These people have mastered social dynamics to such a degree that they are instantly likable and they radiate positive energy. This is a skill that can be learned with practice and small tweaks to your daily social interactions. The most important change is to be fully engaged with the conversation. The average person struggles to maintain eye contact or stares at their phone compulsively. If you can devote your full attention and express interest, you too can become charming and likable. Now, The Rock, if you look up old videos of him, was not always as magnetic as he is today. This is something that he developed over time and practice. So if you don't believe me, if you don't think you're the kind of person that can be charming and likable, go watch some old interviews of The Rock and look at how they compare to his modern ones. This is something that anyone can do. Pay attention to your body language, your feet, and your facial expressions. Simply reacting with facial expressions is enough to make you seem involved in the conversation, and this will help forge a connection. The direction one's feet are facing show where their attention is. When facing a person, that means they're engaged. When facing away, that means they're looking to escape the conversation. This is a huge social cue that most men miss out on when approaching girls. So when you're talking to a girl, don't make it obvious, don't make it weird, don't turn this into some kind of a weird foot fetish thing, but take a glance at her feet. It'll tell you a lot. Number 4, remain on the path and pursue your mission. The most interesting men have their own mission that they pursue with genuine desire and passion. These men jump out of bed in the morning and move about with deliberate purpose. While others are juggling to find something mildly entertaining to stream on TV, these men are living more interesting lives and have grand results to show for their effort. In conversations, they will talk about exciting ideas or projects rather than gossip or the latest TV show. This is how they stand out in a world full of mindless consumers. How you spend your time will decide how important your mission really is to you. If you say you don't have time, what you're really saying is that it's not a priority to you. Think about the way you spend your time. Most likely, you simply focus on the wrong things. You're devoting your precious time to short-term dopamine boosters at the expense of your long-term goals and mission. Number 5, stick with your guiding principles. What principles guide your life? If this question caught you off guard, then you need to do some soul searching. And you need to figure out what exactly guides your every action. We've allowed ourselves to become so distracted with constant notifications and endless distractions that we do not meditate on our own moral compass. If you'd like to learn more about the tactic that I use to form my own guiding principles, check out my latest book. It's called The Warrior's Mindset. It's available on Amazon and on Gumroad, and it's linked in the show notes below. Your principles can't be extinguished unless you snuff out the thoughts that feed them, for it's continually in your power to reignite new ones. It's possible to start living again. See things anew as once you did. That is how to restart life. Marcus Aurelius. Number 6, bring value to the world. You'll find that your self-image and your self-esteem can be boosted when you start bringing value to those around you. They'll notice how knowledgeable or helpful you are, and they'll enjoy your company. You'll go from feeling worthless to feeling significant. You can become more valuable by learning skills, improving your appearance, and focusing on improving your social skills. If you want some more information on that, again, check the show notes below for 25 ways to improve your life right now. But one of the biggest ones is how you spend your time. And a lot of guys spend way too much time just scrolling through funny memes on the internet, checking social media, or playing a lot of video games. And then when they want to interact with somebody in the real world, whether it's a friend, a random person, or a girl, they don't have a lot of interesting things to talk about. Most girls aren't going to want to hear about your latest exploits in some video game. They want to hear real world stuff. Did you go on a hiking trail this weekend? Did you take your dog for a walk in the park? Did you go on a road trip to go see some friends? Something in the real world is always going to be more interesting than your latest video games. Number 7, reflect on what you learned at the end of the day. How you close out your day says a lot about the life you will lead. Do you clock out as soon as possible, or do you take a few minutes to collect your thoughts and lessons learned from the day? Do you get out your notebook and journal about the day's lessons, the struggles, the successes? I'm reminded of a line by Adam Savage of Mythbusters. Remember, kiddos, the difference between screwing around in science is writing it down. Most people are simply screwing around all day and floating through life like a paper bag caught in an updraft. They merely go with the flow. They have little to no control over the direction or meaning of their existence. And many people are pretty content doing this. If you feel like you lack control of your life, start writing in a journal every day, and you'll notice a shift in your life. You'll start noticing patterns that influence what makes for a productive day. And you'll start noticing the patterns that lead to unproductive days. You'll begin to realize that most of your actions have second-order effects that affect your mood, your ability to make money, and your overall health. Obviously, this is just a start, but this serves as a welcome reminder as you greet the new day. If you work on these 7 things, you'll find profound changes to your life. Now, if you enjoyed this, make sure you check out that book that I wrote, The Warrior's Mindset, How to Become the Modern Warrior. This will teach you how I was able to change my mindset from being a normie or just stagnant in life and to start living my life with the zest that Marcus Aurelius is talking about here. The way I'm able to attack the day and produce instead of being a mindless consumer. Check the show notes below. And as always, thanks for watching and listening. And if you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for future updates.